In the recent lawsuit filed against Fox Sports, a hairstylist has brought forward allegations that could potentially unravel a culture of workplace harassment and misuse of power that seems endemic not just to this network, but perhaps to the sports entertainment industry as a whole. The plaintiff, referred to as Miss Fadji in the court documents, presents a scenario where professional success is allegedly tied to personal sacrifices and unethical demands. Her assertions suggest a hidden culture of sexual harassment and a quid pro quo dynamic involving high-profile network figures like Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and executive Charles Dixon. This case opens a window into a potentially pervasive issue where individuals in power exploit their positions, expecting sexual favors in exchange for career advancement or stability. Ms. Fadji's account begins with her full-time employment at Fox in 2016 after 4 years of part-time affiliation. The core of her complaint is that her work environment was steeped in manipulative practices that required employees to navigate through morally compromising situations. According to her, this wasn't just limited to isolated incidents, but was part of a broader, more accepted culture of misconduct. The lawsuit thus poses critical questions about the boundaries of power dynamics within workplace settings, particularly in industries known for their fierce competitiveness and high stakes. The narrative around Joy Taylor, as depicted by Fadji G, illustrates a troubling path to professional elevation that allegedly involved intimate relationships with influential network executives. This portrayal of Taylor's career advancement raises important questions about the integrity of promotional practices within Fox Sports. If these allegations are true, they reflect a deeply ingrained issue where professional merit is overshadowed by personal liaisons. Taylor's rapid rise to a prominent position as a moderator on Undisputed supposedly came with little to no requisite experience, which Fadji G attributes to her relationships within the company's power structure. This kind of advancement not only undermines the concept of fair employment practices, but also sets a dangerous precedent for other employees. It suggests that success within the company is based less on professional achievements and more on one's willingness to engage in or tolerate unethical behaviors. Furthermore, the alleged dismissal of Fadji's complaints about inappropriate advances at a company party underscores a possible systemic issue within Fox Sports' handling of harassment claims. When power dynamics are skewed, victims often find themselves with no recourse, their grievances unaddressed or outright ignored. This not only perpetuates the cycle of abuse, but also fosters an environment where such behavior is normalized and, in some dire cases, expected. Skip Bayless's alleged behavior, as detailed in the lawsuit, paints a disturbing picture of exploitation and harassment. The claims against him include making multiple unwarranted advances toward Ms. Fadji, including physical contact and propositions for sexual relationships in exchange for money. These allegations, if true, are particularly egregious, demonstrating a blatant abuse of power by someone at the top of the professional hierarchy. The psychological impact on Ms. Fadji cannot be overstated. Being subjected to persistent harassment by a superior can lead to significant emotional and mental distress. The situation is exacerbated by the power imbalance, which can leave the victim feeling powerless and trapped. This kind of workplace environment not only affects the individual's well-being, but also their professional performance and career trajectory. Moreover, Bayless's alleged insistence, even in light of Ms. Fadji's clear discomfort and rejection, highlights a gross misunderstanding and disregard for professional boundaries. Such behavior challenges the ethical fabric of the organization and, if left unchecked, can lead to a broader organizational breakdown. It erodes trust, not just between employees and their superiors, but also among colleagues who may see the lack of consequences as a tacit endorsement of such conduct. The lawsuit sheds light on what appears to be a systemic failure within Fox Sports' Human Resources Department to effectively address and mitigate incidents of harassment. According to Ms. Fadji, her attempts to seek help were met with indifference and led to her being ostracized, a response that speaks volumes about the company's internal culture and priorities. HR departments are typically seen as safeguards against workplace abuses, tasked with protecting employees and ensuring a safe working environment. However, when those in charge of enforcing these standards are ineffective or, worse, complicit in ignoring the issues, it undermines the entire purpose of having protective measures in place. The ostracization of Miss Fajji after she voiced her concerns is indicative of a workplace that punishes whistleblowers rather than the perpetrators of misconduct. This not only discourages others from coming forward with their grievances, but also perpetuates a culture of silence around sexual harassment and abuse. It creates an environment where employees might feel compelled to accept inappropriate behavior as a norm, rather than risk professional alienation or retaliation. This lawsuit has the potential to be a watershed moment for not just Fox Sports, but the broader media and entertainment industry, where such issues have been rumored but seldom addressed with the seriousness they demand. It prompts a reevaluation of corporate ethics and the mechanisms in place to protect employees from sexual harassment and exploitation. The case against Fox Sports highlights a critical need for transparent, robust procedures to handle complaints and allegations of misconduct. It calls for a shift towards a more ethical workplace, where promotions are based on merit and professional achievements, and where all employees can feel safe and valued regardless of their gender or the level of their position within the company hierarchy. Ultimately, this lawsuit may encourage other victims of similar abuses across the industry to come forward, potentially leading to significant changes in how companies address and prevent workplace harassment. It underscores the importance of accountability, especially at the executive level, and the need for a cultural shift that prioritizes integrity and respect over profits and ratings.